Hello and welcome once again to 7-minute sofa yoga, and these sessions are looking in particular at the breath and your breathing apparatus. Without further ado, we're going to follow on from yesterday's session looking at our breathing apparatus and really getting to know the breath cycle in greater detail. You're on your sofa, you're sitting comfortably, whether that's with your feet connected with the floor, knees bent, or that you might like to have a cross-legged position or a half lotus position or a lotus, all depending on where you are in your yoga practice. Let's have a nice seated position where we are lifting upward, making ourselves as tall as we can be, so helping to create some space in the torso, which allows for the oxygen to move with greater freedom and to get to all parts of the body, replenishing and repairing. Close your eyes so that you can take an inward view. Use the power of your imagination to see inside yourself. Now take a breath in through the nose. Carrying on from yesterday, we now know that the nose, the nasal passages, they house a filtering system. So your air as you take it in is getting warmed, cleaned and moistened. It's going to journey down the back of the mouth, epiglottis, larynx, past the trachea, and as it goes down it will then break into two tubes, your bronchi, which lead directly into your lungs, your left lung, your right lung. As you take that inspiration of breath, your rib cage will open, your chest will rise, your diaphragm will pull downward. It gently massages your internal organs as it does so. And all this that is going on, the rising of the chest, the opening of the rib cage, the pulling down of the diaphragm, this is creating greater space for the lungs to inflate. The air rushes into them, bursting them into life, and it fills them from the bottom to the top. Now at the top of that breath, the air and the oxygen is then passed into the heart, where the oxygen is extracted, purified, and then leaves the heart by the network of arteries. They travel all around your body. So as part of the breathing technique, the oxygen is travelling all over the body, repairing, renewing, replenishing, revitalising. It's just doing so much good. And that is why your inhalation is so important. It's important to draw in a bigger breath than you normally would. Because when you draw in a bigger breath, you open the chest more, the rib cage more, the diaphragm pulls down more, massages the internal organs, and a greater amount of air with oxygen is drawn into the lungs. That means you are increasing the amount of oxygen that you take in. Which is very healthy for you, very beneficial. Now your exhalation is just as important as your inhalation. Your exhalation is actually exiting, it's getting rid of all the toxins and the byproducts of the inhalation. So the blood is carried back to the heart by the network of veins, and any byproduct, waste, is drawn into the heart, where any more oxygen that's found is recycled. The rest draws into the lungs, and then you exhale. The lungs empty from top to bottom they begin to shrivel, and they push the exhalation, the air that you're getting rid of, up through the bronchi, up through the trachea, the larynx, and exit at the back of the throat, which is known as the pharyngeal area. And so a long exhalation is beneficial too, because the more breath you can get rid of, that you can exit from the lungs, the cleaner the lungs become, because you're allowing the air to be pushed out, emptying the lungs fully, so that they can then be clean of anything of the previous breath and preparing for the next breath in, your new inspiration, and the cycle begins all over again. Now, by sitting on your sofa for just 7 minutes and focusing with eyes closed on your breath, the passage of it, and that you can journey with it, is going to be so helpful to you. Everything you learn on the sofa, you can apply to your daily life. And after listening to these videos about your breathing apparatus and just how to breathe better in general, you'll then remember what you've been taught, what you've been guided, and you can apply that to your daily life. And your general well-being and health will improve almost instantaneously, because you are delivering greater amounts of oxygen all around your body. 7 minutes, and you've already learnt a lot more about your breathing apparatus and your breath. And I hope this assists you in having a great day or evening, wherever you may be. And I hope that you'll come back and join us again for the next 7-minute sofa yoga session that's coming up.